Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to their podcast.
Lez-Come-Together.
I'm Molly.
And I'm Vicki.
The Wives.
Oh, hey, amazing. Hello, wife.
Hello.
They do exist, look, they're real.
They are. This is Molly, my wife, and this is Joe's wife, Vicki. And that's Jo. She's back. Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
Anna.
What's that on your head?
Well, it's obviously we've had Christmas,
Yes.
and this is all the New Year cheer.
How wonderful.
Did that not quite work?
Don't let Simon see this with the messy hair.
Oh, yeah. Simon made a comment about my messy hair. How rude.
How
So
dare
we thought we would do this as a little bit of a bonus for the year. Talk a little bit about how the year's gone, but also we wanted to give you guys the right to reply for some of the things we've talked about.
That seems fair enough. Thank you.
I mean, obviously, I haven't listened to many, so I'm not sure I can reply or...
What do you mean, Vicki? Surely, like my wife, you have listened to all of them.
No, I think I've only done 2.
Oh, that's more than I thought, actually.
Yeah. That's one more than I thought.
Can I just ask why?
Why? I'm busy.
No,
And I hear your voice enough.
that was the reason I love. It's like, I hear your voice 24/7. Why would I listen to it in the breaks that I get?
I mean, no offence, but there's a lot of podcasts out there, and I just have others that I listen to as well.
Ouch.
Jo.
It's okay.
Also, could I point out, and I do point this out regularly, we've been together for 20 years.
Right.
And how long have you been together?
12. It's not.
So, okay, so, give it
8
another
years now.
decade, and
Yeah.
then
You might not listen to each other either.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll come back in 8 years and let you know.
So yeah, Molly, what about you? How many have you listened to?
I have listened to all of them.
Wow.
And some of them 3 or 4 times.
Such
Absolutely. I listened to them unedited, halfway through editing, after editing.
Hang on, so you listen to
Yep.
all the editing process, and then you go for the full-on real one?
Yeah. I mean, not on all of them. It depends. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, and this one is quite funny because, unlike you guys,
Thank you.
I often don't
This is my
see
wife.
Anna for a couple of days, so it's quite nice to hear her.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, funny you say that because you actually said something about Jo, something about listening to Jo today. What was it?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen Jo and Vicki in ages, but actually I feel like I'm part of Jo's life every day because she's always on the phone in our flat.
Oh, yeah, talking about the C words and clits and
Can I just say,
many others.
it is not that I'm constantly ringing her. It's
No.
the fact she's playing back some
Oh.
of the videos to capture the social media.
Ringing, just to put this into everyone's perspective, I have been trying to arrange a call with you for 2 weeks.
I'm afraid.
And then I just gave up and just called you because I'm like, I'm not having this messaging back and forth and you're too busy and I'm not getting anywhere. I had to ring you.
I would say, don't bother trying to arrange anything. There's no point. Just ring.
Yeah.
And she'll answer, and then you'll
She
have a...
did.
Yeah, well, there
Vicky.
you go. You see, it's not personal. She just can't organise
No.
a
piss up in a brewery.
basically.
Oh, sorry. We all feel the same about you.
Yeah, that's fine.
But we also all love you.
Well, that's kind of you.
Aw.
I actually, at my wedding, I think you were there too. So at our wedding, I had
3 jobs.
3 jobs.
In the entire organisation of an entire wedding and honeymoon, you had 3 jobs.
Wow. What were they?
One was you had to do order of services.
We didn't have any of those. I mean, who needs them in the end of the
So
day?
we didn't have any. Literally none. We're done. 2 was music for the reception.
Silent disco.
Can I just say that I'd done the music, but I didn't press play, so no one ever heard anything.
No, I think you forgot it.
joking?
Oh well, we didn't have music.
Because it was like 15, 18 years ago, so you actually needed to bring something. You couldn't just Spotify it, you know.
Well, anyway,
So
we
you
didn't
had
have
no
music.
music at your reception?
Oh no, so when we were eating, we had nice music for eating. No, we had like a disco. And that was,
Okay.
because obviously that had been organised by moi.
Well, of course, yeah.
So that happened. And then the third one I can't even remember.
But it probably didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Nobody missed any of those things that I didn't organise.
That's all right. I feel like we're going to learn a lot about Jo. What do you think?
Is that why you got tasked with those particular things? Because if they didn't happen, it didn't actually affect the running of the day?
Yeah.
And one of my good friends said, "Doesn't she hold down quite an important job?" And like Vicky was like, "Well, yeah, and I don't know how."
Yeah. Neither of us do, to be honest.
No, this is because you do it at work.
Yes. And then the second that door's shut on the office, or you walk through our front door, you like turn off and you just like, yeah, kick my shoes off. I'm not organising. I'm not doing anything. I'm not organise anything.
But
support, yeah, but just if it requires any organisation.
But anyway, I don't think this podcast was meant to be.
No. But
Slag Joe off.
just so that we have it on record, I am currently 46, and last year I did give you full warning that my 50th is in 5 years, and you've got 5 years to organise my 50th. Do you remember that?
I do.
Right, good.
And also we're on board now, so we'll make sure that.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Thanks.
But that means we've only got 4 years left, people. I'm starting to panic.
Right.
I mean, I don't want a lot, but I'm just saying if you could just actually organise something.
Okay.
How do you feel about ours? Because you organised a huge part of our wedding, Molly.
Yeah, I really enjoy organising.
You did, didn't you? But do you feel like I did stuff? 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like I did.
Yeah. It was a long time ago now. It feels like a distant memory.
Yeah. It was only a year and a half ago, wasn't it?
But in terms of like the planning and stuff, I think because you do it so gradually, bit by bit,
Yeah.
I couldn't actually say like what you did or what I did.
Okay, well, you did an amazing job. I did
Thanks.
the music stuff. And
I mean, we did joke. Well, you joked that the
That was
wedding
it.
book was my wedding.
you called it your wedding book. Oh, where's my wedding book?
Well, you didn't write in it once, so I mean,
I think that's fair.
So this was a book that had all the detail about everything that was before the planning, during, and I mean, that to me is my biggest nightmare. I mean, you're
She
already
loves it.
doing stuff. Why do you have to write it all down?
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Because
I
you
think
forget.
I wish I'd have done that, actually. Yeah.
makes it's all out of the brain into and I like to write like quite visual. It's got to have the paper diary.
Oh, there were sketches.
Yeah. Oh, was that?
Of
Yeah,
what
look
Yana should look like.
Something like that. Anyway, hi wives. Nice to have you
Hi.
on today. Joe, remind us of what we're talking
Yeah,
about
so I
today.
wanted to know a little bit about 2024. Highs, lows, and hopes for 2025.
Okay, so when I thought of highs, I immediately go to like a work thing that I've achieved, which is really sad.
No, it's not.
But obviously, my high of 2024 is going on the most amazing honeymoon with Yana to Thailand. But when she said to me, "Oh, what was your high of 2024?" I said, "Well, I did like a public talk in front of like over 100 people in the springtime, and that was my, that was the first of 3 I did in front of people this year, and so that was a major achievement. But it was a work achievement, really, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. I think that achievement is yours because you had to prepare, you had to stand there, you got up and did it, and there is so many people that wouldn't have had the guts to do that. I don't think I would have.
Oh, she did amazing.
So maybe it is kind of like a personal thing, isn't it?
Course
Because
it
you're
is.
growing yourself as well. But
Yeah.
obviously the honeymoon was
That
amazing.
reminds me of, we once played a game and you had to write down the most important thing you've ever purchased. And there's 4 of us. And I'm like...
I'd just like to point out, because this is a podcast, I'm already shaking my head. Sorry, for just to remind
you,
people
Vicky. Yep.
for the visual cues. Carry on,
So
darling.
there's 2 couples. The other couple obviously really showed me up because they wrote things like, the ticket to the place where they first met. And you think, and Vicky, I think,
Or
wrote...
engagement ring.
Engagement ring. Yeah, and I wrote electric bike.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I think you can have whatever achievement you want.
Thank you.
Anyway, but that's a massive high. So what about you then, Yana?
Yeah, so I was the same. Like in the back of my mind, it was surely Thailand was the high, and yes, it was. But we have had loads of holidays this year,
Honestly.
because you remind me all the time. And there was about 6 or 7 holidays in the past year, and they were all highs. Thailand, however, was amazing. But honestly, the high for me this year was you and I getting together doing this podcast.
Aww.
It really.
Oh shit!
really
I've got to
was.
rewrite my high.
Oh God, really?
No. Well, I
You
will
should
come to
saw
that on the
it.
low. Actually, no.
Nice.
No.
Well, you wait for Milo, baby.
No, but wait. It's a good low. As in, my low was really bad,
Yeah.
but the podcast has kind of
think I know
saved
where
me
you're
from it.
going, yes.
So that's why I don't mean that.
No.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what's your high, Vicky? For God's sake, help me out with this high.
Oh, I always do, darling, don't I? Well, I think my high has to be that we're now in the process of adopting and we now have 2 children at home.
Yay.
I can't help but just love every second of it.
That's amazing.
And we haven't yet covered it on the pod, but we said we would at some point, the IVF topic, where we actually been through a hideous journey of trying to have a family of two.
10 years. 10 years it's taken. We
time.
started trying for our second a decade ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
And obviously we have spoken about the pod that we had a second, but then she died after only 4 weeks. And obviously then going back into IVF, trying to have a second, but still dealing with the grief of... It was a horrible, horrible journey. And then in COVID we were fostering, and that was amazing because we had Emily join us. And we thought at that point we were going to be able to adopt her, and then it didn't happen, and we've had 3 years in between, but it looks like she will join our family permanently. So it is amazing.
This is
amazing,
the most beautiful high.
Yeah.
Honestly, well done. Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you. Is this a mutual high?
No, I've got another one.
Right. Go on. Hit
Yeah.
us with it.
So my high actually was, again, the low for me this year was awful, and we didn't really plan any holidays in the summer. So we suddenly sort of thought, what are we going to do? And we decided we'd go, just take the car and go to Ireland, and we'd be able to then take the dog. And Vicky mentioned it to the family, and my mum was there at the time, and she went, oh, I've always wanted to go to Ireland. And my incredible wife turned around and said, let's take your mum. And that's such an amazing thing, because I'd love, but I wouldn't put it on somebody else to take the mother-in-law. And we asked if she wanted to come, and she came. And my high was, do you remember we were sitting in that Airbnb, and she's reading a book. She doesn't often get time to read books. And she's reading, and I'll put it for you to post on Instagram. She's reading a story about a guy who was a school inspector, and he went into the nativity play. And she started laughing, and you could see she was belly laughing so hard. And she said, you gotta listen to this. It's so, you gotta. And she couldn't even read it. She was laughing so hard. And I filmed a little bit of it, and it just seeing her laugh so hard was
beautiful.
a massive high for me. And having that time as a family.
It was actually really lovely.
Yeah.
Honestly, your mum couldn't have been any easier on that holiday. She was just amazing. And I think it's really helped the bond with her and Isaac.
Yeah.
They're really close
Awesome.
now.
That's awesome. I have met your mum, and she's absolutely lovable. So yeah, I think we're the same. Like with your mum, she's like Mama Liz, we call her. And she's just incredible.
Maybe we need to do a mama podcast. Get Mama Liz.
Let's get the mums on.
Pam would love it. You wouldn't get a word in edgeways though. I mean,
I done with Joe, so there's no surprise.
that's where she gets it from then.
But cheers to your wife. Like, how amazing is she saying, bring your mum? And I will do the same with your mum, wouldn't I?
Yeah,
really?
totally.
Yeah, 100%. We are very similar here. This is weird.
Yeah.
It's not weird.
Okay.
You two are very similar.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the good looking one.
Obviously, you said, I can't even say this. It hurts too much. You would swap me for Simon.
Yeah, I did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tell you another one of Jo's faults?
Oh, yeah.
Is the problem she has is that her mouth works about 10 seconds earlier than her brain.
Yeah, I've noticed.
And and this is what you have to work with, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what kind of makes her funny, though. Unless she's
Absolutely.
doing dad's jokes, because they're shite. Her dad's jokes.
Yeah, they are
sorry,
bad.
Joe. They are. You need to work on them.
I don't try telling jokes. I just say it how
Good
it
job.
is. Yeah, my jokes are really shit. My brother, Big C, we have to get him on too.
Oh, he would love it.
He is funny.
Yeah, he
Oh,
is.
well, funnier than you.
Oh
Yes.
That should
Yeah,
be
yeah.
easy.
yeah. So lows. We should have started.
Hang on.
with lows.
We haven't had Gianna's high, have we?
Yeah, it was holidays again.
Oh, it was holidays.
Holiday. Or was it?
Hey, what was your high? I've forgotten already.
Okay, let's rewind everyone. Has everyone forgotten
Oh, it was
what my high
starting the
was?
podcast.
Oh, yeah, with me.
With you, yeah.
Why am I even bothering?
It's a good
Sorry.
Right, so going back to the highs of this year, it was not a podcast with Joe. Probably some kind of work achievement, anything. Actually, it has been pretty good. I've done some paramedics training on the railway, and I've run quite a few, and yeah, that's been amazing. And then, there was some, like, number 10 high in my life was doing a podcast with someone called Joe. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry.
Bish!
I remember. Could you want to start with your low then?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I'll let one of You beautiful wife. Go.
Shall I start
Yes,
then?
please.
Oh, our low probably is the amount of people that we have lost this year. I think it's just devastating, either through suicide or through illness, and it's just been, it's been awful. So to have the highs, like you guys doing the podcast and stuff, and actually getting together and socialising with you guys has just been really good release amongst the sadness, hasn't it?
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think ours would be the same, wouldn't it?
Yeah. As you know, I lost my best friend, and I remember vividly that I think the weekend after that you had to go away somewhere, and you were really like, do I go, do I not go? And you two picked up the phone and said, let's go for a walk. And we went for a walk, and I was okay because life has to go on, but you're just sad in the pit of your stomach when things happen you weren't expecting. It's a huge shock, and and as I said, that continues. I mean, every sunrise. I mean, my son has got to the point where he said, everything reminds you of her, because I see something like, oh, that really reminds me. And it's like, everything. And I'm like, yeah, but it does, because we had such a shared life together. And
it will for such a long time, won't it? Like, first Christmas without her, the first birthday you're going to miss, and, you know. And you said, I reminded you of something the other day. And but, you know, this
was your laugh when you couldn't breathe. You know, when she used to go,
oh, when I peed myself. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that was a good one.
That
oh, my
was
God.
really...
Do you know, I watched that video quite a few times now. Just when I'm feeling low, I watch that video of you making me laugh, and you weren't even that funny. But
just moving position.
Was that the other day when you were absolutely hysterical in your house?
Yeah.
And I was like, I was concerned for you at one point, because I'm like, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I don't think my wife's that funny.
Exactly, Vicky. She wasn't, but it was her face. I was looking at her face. She was. Oh, it was about your tummy folds.
Yeah, it was
this
the folds.
And I just, your face, you're just hilarious. Yes.
But I love that even though we lose people that mean a lot to us, like we lost Sharon up in Snowdonia this year, and so many things remind us of her, and I think that's like a way of her sort of carrying on with us, and it's a great way. You know, they say that people die twice, right? Once when you die, and then again when the last person stops talking about you. So.
Oh no, that's so sad.
But I always think it's so beautiful as well.
Well, we're not going to stop talking about them.
We have to keep the memories alive.
I'm like, oh, that's awful.
I'm so sorry.
Let's move back to the highs. But what's really weird, and I don't know if it's true or not, but ever since I've lost Charlotte, I see birds randomly, like they fly at me.
Can I just interject? Her surname was Sparrow.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the other day I was listening to the C podcast, and I just said the C word, which we were obviously like, do we not? And I look out my window, and this big black bird just lands on the garage, and it's a tiny little and just looks at me, and then flies off. And I'm like, she either really thinks it's a good idea I put it in, or she's like, cut that. But either way, I can't.
You left it in.
I left it in. Yeah, I think she would have gone, I'll leave that in.
Do you know what? She would have listened to every one of these, but every week she'd have been like, Joe, I can't believe you said that. Joe, why did you say that? Honestly, what are you
You're talking rubbish now.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
exactly what
She used to ground me a lot.
I really wish I had met.
Oh, you talked on the phone once. You remember when you were packing the house?
And she sounded awesome.
Yeah.
She was my support that day because you were being hangry.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I understand.
We did a podcast on the sea, and we mentioned loads of people, and we didn't mention my friend Kathy. Do you remember Kathy had sent me that picture of a place in the States called Joe Hangry?
Kathy, hi, thank you.
Thank you. Anyway, so you do notice the last pod we did, Jana said send pictures to us of anything. We'd like to clarify, not anything. Simon has just made some suggestions.
Not just Simon, but yeah, some people suggested all sorts of things. Like, but I think it's a great idea. Them being in bed, naked, with headphones only, listening to our podcast. I mean,
No.
I think you're wading into uncertain territory there. Bit of grey area. I think fully clothed, anything fully clothed, maybe.
I think you're right. It's always good to have a place here because it kind of keeps us.
Well, you need the teacher. Yeah.
Got to have some boundaries, people.
Yep.
So what about
safeguarding?
Yeah, that's true. Got to safeguard my poor little mind. But I do apologise for any comment I made about cock. I promise not to talk about them anymore because I know nothing.
Oh, yeah, I have
Simon
been.
was offended, I think, about my cock
To be
comments.
honest, yeah, I'm not surprised, and we do apologise to all the men that listened to Joe talking about cock and them their how they work and all that, because
I
you
have no
haven't
idea.
got a clue. So why did you even attempt?
I don't know. It's never
Oh,
stopped
do you
me
know-
before.
Do you know what? That might actually get me listening to the Sea podcast just to hear you.
Oh yeah, you
I'm
should
an expert about cock.
definitely. But then also that will mean that you will hear her talking about the fact that she's got no idea about the clit. So
You have to now comment and go, yes, she has.
yes,
I am not saying anything. I am just taking. Is it the 4th, the 5th? I'm taking the 5th. Is that what they
Yeah,
say?
something like that. Because I'm not
Yeah,
good. Yeah. So let's get back to hopes for 2025.
I mean, I really love the end of a year when you kind of like, however good it's been, just you're tired by the end of it, and I
Yeah.
just kind of like to have a bit of time off, put a line underneath it, and then just wake up in a fresh year with a fresh outlook, with a load more holidays on the horizon. Really,
that's what I was thinking. On the 1st of January, I'm going to get this list of holidays where we're going to go. In fact, I think there's already 3.
there's quite a few
Oh,
already
nice.
in the planning.
Really?
Yeah, why not? I mean, my plan for next year is to stay childless. I'm really happy with that plan. I think it's quite easy to achieve.
I was gonna say I'm not. I was confused
don't
there
just
for a
turn
minute.
up, I
I'm
promise.
like, okay.
Where's that come from?
The amount of people that keep asking us
Oh, yeah.
if we're going to have children.
Because
I'm-
you've got married, and then they just think,
Yeah.
oh, well, that's.
And they're
Do you
like,
know
well,
what?
you know, Jana's older, but you're still. And I'm like, well, charming. Sorry for you.
You've been speaking to Simon again?
And I'm like, no, we had this conversation a long time ago, and we are really happy.
Also, we have loads of friends with kids, and we love their kids. And you know, like your Isaac, like it's awesome. I love coming to your house, and
He loves you
gives them.
coming to us.
He just
He
gives
gets
the best
excited.
cuddles. Yeah.
Yeah, when we say Yana and Molly are coming, oh, brilliant.
Does give a good cuddle.
He does give a good.
We
hug.
actually realised at Christmas that we have a lot of children in our lives
Yeah.
because we bought a lot of presents.
Yeah.
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 And we don't even have children.
No. But I feel like we do have to keep defending ourselves as to why we don't have children, apart from the fact it's really hard anyway in that journey. But we actually have so many children that we, like, little bit in their lives, whether it's through youth work or through friends and that is more than enough.
Absolutely. And that doesn't mean we're selfish or whatever people think sometimes that, you know, you're so selfish you don't have kids. We just don't want kids. And actually, is it selfish having 4 or 5 or 6 kids? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is selfish? What isn't? It's whatever you choose. And we chose not to have children, to live in 1-bedroom flat for now, and have loads of holidays.
Yeah.
Good for you. And honestly, the worst thing you could have done is have children because you think others think you should, because children need so much support, hard work. You've got to be 100% in it. I mean, when Vicky and I first got together, she was very clear, I want children. And it took me a long time to make that call that I definitely wanted to do that too. Because because I'd always known I was gay from about, 14, 15, I assumed I couldn't have children because, so I'd got myself geared to, I'm not going to have kids. So then when you meet somebody who says, I want children, and you're like 15 years later, you've got to really make that decision. Why did I make the decision in the first place? Was it because I didn't want them? Or was it because I didn't think I could have them? So I felt that. And then luckily it was the latter. And so I did want children. Well, I hope so. I've got a 12 year
You're so great with kids, though. I
I know I do great with Yana.
That's true.
Me too.
But I would like to address the fact that I think it's really awful that you feel the need to, what did you say?
Call me a child.
Defend, justify.
Defend, justify your reasonings for not having children. I just think that's terrible.
Yeah.
That you can't just be.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because actually we have had it quite a lot lately. And
Yeah.
I think it's like one of the other, million other things we've spoken about on the podcast to do with being gay or whatever. I just ignore it now. It's just like, it doesn't hurt me, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
But then when we're talking about it, I'm like, yeah, would you just stop? Like,
Asking the question.
I'm 46. I don't want to have 45. Sorry, 45. don't really want to have a child. Little running, no, I don't have energy, I'm tired.
Well, it is still this expectation that all women are destined to become mums, and that's their role, or maybe their only role in life.
And don't get me wrong, you would make amazing mum. I mean, you do a great job with me. So
You know I'm only
That's
kidding.
fine, that's
But you know,
fine.
people will say to me, you know, even though you're gay, you can now have it all as well. Still,
really?
you can have
Oh,
the kids
I
and the
didn't know.
career. And I'm, thanks for the education, but I'm still good. Because
Yeah.
you do have to sacrifice a lot to do
And
the best
defining
job.
women by the fact they have kids or not is wrong. That is totally wrong, because we don't define men by whether they have kids or not.
No,
No.
no.
Two men get married, don't get constantly asked, are you going to have kids?
Probably not, actually. Yeah.
Or even just like if a man gets married, I imagine his mates aren't saying, so when are you going to have a kid?
Yeah,
Do you know?
exactly. Yeah.
His mum might, but you know.
To be
Yeah.
fair, honestly, Molly, to be truthful, she has got her work cut out with me. So I am I feel like I'm getting worse. I don't know if it's old age or whatever, but it's like, it's so many things, isn't it? Like, maybe my ADHD is getting a little bit more, I don't know, like, I just can't
do you
focus on
mean?
things. And I don't know, I'm like really, I haven't done that thing where I've got myself diagnosed, because I think I can control it. But I definitely, it's showing more and more, isn't it? With
Little
like,
bit.
you called me a scatterbrain this morning, and I'm like, I can't even argue with you.
The thing is, Yana will go into... Go on.
No, I was just going to say it could be menopause.
Well,
though.
it could be, but
Yeah.
I don't,
Because honestly, I lost my mind in the last year.
Yeah.
While, yes, she's nodding quite vigorously. And for me, obviously we've heard the wedding, I'm the organiser.
Yeah.
And then suddenly about 6 months ago, I couldn't remember anything. I couldn't organise anything. I was messing things up. I was doing dates wrong.
Yeah.
And then getting on the right
No.
drugs helps. But I mean, obviously you know how you feel.
Yeah,
and-
exactly. It's more of that thing where I've got overthinking. I've been doing that for years. This is not just now.
okay.
Overthinking, maybe.
Well, and it's not...
The direction thing, like, that's always been quite bad, and it's getting worse. Like,
The direction thing.
yeah,
I
like
call it
have got-
directional dyslexia.
I swear, I've got
okay.
direction. You know, like you have dyslexia for
Yeah.
letters. I can
But what
spell
is
anything.
directional?
Like, I literally haven't got a fucking clue where I'm going, John.
We went out on a circular walk today, and as we came back up to the house, she was like, how did we get here? We went out and turned left, and now we're coming back from the right. And I'm like, well, yeah, we went around in a circle.
Nah, no.
So we
Your
turn-
own home, and you don't know.
Well,
Well,
my
Molly's
mum's
mum's
home.
house.
But
But-
still, we've gone for a lot of walks from my mum's
To
home.
give you an example, when we were on our last holiday, there was this toilet by the dining place, right? And
Yeah.
it was the closest toilet for us to go from the pool. And I would go into this toilet, and every time I would walk out of this toilet, I would turn right and walk into a wall. Every time. Every time. And I would go in thinking, Yana, when you walk out of the toilet,
Turn left.
turn left.
Right, how many shots were you doing every
No.
morning with breakfast?
No,
I
she
mean,
was
come
sober.
on.
Honestly, it was just this weird thing that in my head, it's like somewhere in the world, I go to the toilet a lot and I always walk out to the right. And I just kept walking out to the right and
But
literally
even
hitting
in
the
your
wall.
flat, you don't turn right. You go straight
No,
on.
I don't know what it was. It's something in my mind.
Wow.
I have no idea. And it's just, there's some kind of...
I think a lot of it, like around the house, is like not starting and finishing a job, is it? So like this morning you were in the kitchen doing something, and then I don't know, were
finish
you
it.
like pouring a drink or something, and then you thought, oh, so what drinks do we need to have for Christmas? And then you started looking in the cupboard for what drinks, but then you went in the cupboard and found something else, and then you started another job, and it's just on and on and on. I'm like,
Oh
just
my god, the more you talk, the more I just hear Joe.
Hey, sister!
Honestly.
How the fuck they got organised enough to create a podcast? I'll never know.
it's amazing.
Do you know, can everyone just really, really appreciate
Yeah.
those...
It took a lot of bloody work to get this launched.
We're not involved in this. You guys
Absolutely
do this
not.
on your own back.
Honestly, I'm actually really freaking proud of us, Joe.
Exactly.
Come on.
I mean, people have said we should record it and put it on YouTube. I mean, we've achieved all we can achieve. We can't go any higher.
We both so similar.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's kind of working. We
Exactly.
have, you know,
It's
5
therapeutic for me.
five.
I don't care that only 55 people are listening because it's therapeutic for me.
Absolutely.
I think 55 is quite good.
I know.
amazing.
Like 52 of that is probably Simon,
friends.
Molly, maybe her mum, and Lenka. Oh God, we gotta give shout out to Lenka.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Lenka.
Oh, there you go. We do too. And she's like, she gives me phone call every so often to give me feedback on the, and it's normally right. Okay, that was not very funny. Don't do it again. Try to be more funny. Do not apologise to people. And I'm like, okay,
What was
with
hilarious
that.
though is that on Insta, Lenka messages us, and half the time Jana is responding, but it's both of us have access to. So I don't realise Jana's responding, and I just start responding. And she's like, "Is this Joe? Because this no longer sounds like Jana. The things you're saying." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, what's Jana?" So yeah, it's a bit weird.
It's funny, and this is a funny thing. We got to Lenka, but I'm sure I was talking about something else, and I have no idea what that was. This is when my brain doesn't work like normal podcasters or people that are actually funny. Their brains just work so much better.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it work, because you guys are just yourselves and you're really relatable.
I guess.
And I think a lot of people in their middle age are having the same topics. So whether I think ADHD and dyslexia is much more common in our generation than, because none of us are diagnosed, because we weren't that generation when they knew to.
But I'm okay with that, because I think I'm managing, I'm coping, and whether I have it or not, maybe it's partly menopause, maybe it's partly ADHD,
Well, I mean, as long
whatever.
as long as the wall isn't too high, what does it matter?
Oh no, yeah. Right, we said we're going to do this end of the year special with our wives, and we'll do like a 15-minute thing. Hit 40 minutes.
Yeah, I know, but when I edit out all the shite, we're back down to 50.
There is no shot.
But have we actually addressed the question, which was, what are you looking forward to in 2025?
So you guys haven't actually answered the question yet,
Well,
because
what
we
did-
went off on a
You
tangent.
went on holidays, didn't you?
Well, yeah, this is true. I didn't really answer the question, did I? I deflected quite well. Holidays, some good health would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have struggled a little bit, so we hope, for both of us, good health.
Yeah. Lots of time with friends. All the good things. Nothing crazy.
No lows. No losing friends. No falling out with people. No sad stuff. That's all we want, really.
But there's going to be sad stuff because it's life. And there's going to be difficult
Well,
bits.
I'm not having it.
But it's having those people around you, isn't it?
Yeah.
To get you through all the lows.
It's true. Lifting you up. Because if you didn't have the lows, you wouldn't understand, appreciate the highs. So it's actually part of that circle of life.
Yeah.
No, it's Arsene Wenger, isn't it?
Oh,
Arsene Wenger.
Oh,
Isn't
okay.
that it? Isn't that
Thanks
what they
for
all
God.
say?
That's coming out, isn't it?
Thank God
Mustafa or
Vicky's
whatever his
there.
name is.
Oh,
Staffer.
yeah.
That'll be amazing.
What's this? The Lion King?
Yeah.
So
It's a prequel. Don't worry. You're not missing.
So what are you looking forward to in 2025?
I'm looking forward to Canada. We're going away to Canada.
Yeah.
Not now looking forward to a 12-hour flight with a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
That'll be...
I'm glad I'm not on that plane with you guys.
Yeah,
I had a
definitely.
1-year-old coming back from Slovakia in 2.5 hours was enough.
Let's hope we don't end up, because we're looking after their dog while they're away. Do you think we're going to end up with a 5-year-old?
That's not what I'm looking forward to, you looking after my dog.
Oh, wow.
I'll
I'm
be
gonna-
there to supervise.
Yeah, so the dog lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, Joe.
What are you looking forward to?
Well, I start a new job.
Oh,
Yeah, beginning of
Yes.
Feb.
Yeah,
So-
she's coming on to railways.
Oh, God help us.
Can you imagine it? No, everybody has been so sort of welcoming, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I guess it not being 2024, because 2024 felt like loads of people we lost, and it kept happening at work as well, people, and it was real shockers. And so I just feel like we've got to say goodbye to this year.
Yeah.
And so I'll be really toasting 2025 in. And on that note, toasting,
Yeah.
shall we toast to friends, health? Was that you farting?
No, sorry, it was me against the
Okay,
carpet.
okay, so
Vicky,
it wasn't
thank you
you.
for clearing that out.
Right, start again and we can edit that bit up.
Okay. So I don't know what I said. It was a great.
So on that note,
On the note of toasting,
On the note of toasting, let's toast to friends, health, happiness, and 2025.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Goodbye
Stay-
from Yana.
Goodbye from Joe.
goodbye from the wives.
Bye. Now, do we sing?
We're not singing.
Oh, come on. We always do at the end.
Yeah, but you haven't heard Vicky singing.
Oh,
I'm not
this could be
singing.
good. Right,
No,
something
no,
that's
no.
not
Well, I
jingle
can't
bells.
sing.
Come on, wives.
Old Lang Syne, but I don't know how that goes.
For old friend. No, I don't know.
Okay.
For the sake of old lang syne.
I don't even know what that means.
No, that's awful.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was nice. It's good to hear from the other halves, get you a bit of an insight into, what it's like back at home. Anyway, next year we'll be back to normal, just Yana and I, chewing the fat. But I thought I'd pop in again without Yana knowing because I've added the outtakes at the end. So if you've had enough of hearing about us, then feel free to turn off. But now is some of the outtakes when Molly and Vicki try and do the hi, hello intro. It's not as easy as it looks, as you will see.
Okay.
When we started, I was like, what are we waiting for? I was like, oh, it's me.
I didn't realise it was so scripted. I thought you were a bit more like...
That bit's scripted. It's the only bit
Okay.
that's scripted.
Right.
We are quite advanced.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, stop.
Well-
Sorry. Can you just a bit more enthusiastic?
No.
Like, you're really good. But Hi.
It's because I'm mimicking Jo and how she does it.
Well, you should mimic
Hello
me.
is a good word. Hi is like,
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do what I do and
So
start
what do you
with
do?
like...
You do hi.
Go on.
No, I start laughing, farting. No, that's her. It's just also... Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to their podcast.
Lez-Come-Together.
I'm Molly.
And I'm Vicki. The
The
Wives.
Excellent, that's brilliant. I'm going to have to turn it down a bit because you're a bit loud now.
Well, we were
No,
told
it's
to
all
be
the orange juice.
enthusiastic.
Don't, you don't have to shout.
Honestly, you're going to have her kicked by the end of this. You know, we said they could come on and actually talk about them, you know, not like we tell them what to talk about.
No, but this was perfect.
Brilliant. Okay.
Well done.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to their podcast.
Lez-Come-Together.
I'm Molly.
And I'm Vicki.
But I think we have to pronounce, because you've told me hundreds
Yeah.
of times, Lez-Come-Together. It's not let's, it's
What did-
Lez-Come-Together.
It
Did I say
sounded a
wrong?
bit like let's,
Oh,
even
okay.
if it wasn't.
Oh, did it?
Let's come together.
Yeah,
Let's-
that's
I
why I
didn't.
paused. I don't know if it actually.
Okay, do it
Let's
again.
Do it again.